Oh, what is this smell? I have to fight through it. I'm here all night. Welcome to the local LGS store. It's all about respect and inclusivity here. That's cool. But you want to help me get up first? Sure, but I see your commander is Vivi. It makes my body happy to see more fellow CEDH players. I've been playtesting for the Command Fest. I enjoy Kenrith with Thassa's Oracle, Kinnan with Thassa's Oracle, Flubs with Thassa's Oracle, and Magda with Thas. Wait, hold up. I don't play CEDH. This is Hat's Tribal. Shut up. I must sit next to you. You see, Vivi is $50. I had to go down to 3 meals a day for a whole week to save up for it. So many of us here would kill for a Vivi, yet you're using your full art foil for hats? You run around with your spidery senses, but where's your spidery sensitivity? Ooh, that table just opened up. It seems like they will enjoy my CEDH. Wait for me here. So, you ever feel like Spider-Man here? Wanting to just enjoy your hobbies like sewing, fly fishing, and playing theme decks with CEDH commanders, trying to strike a balance between flavor and power. Well, I found myself struggling with that a lot lately, because nowadays it seems every legend they print is either boring or broken. This feeling hits me even harder than usual when scrolling through the Spider-Man spoilers. I mean, you can see the crossroads between top-down flavorful design and unique, interesting mechanics. When they somehow manage to marry the two, it becomes an instant classic, but more often than not, it's a choice between one or the other. With universes beyond, it's no mystery which side takes priority. The legends are popular because they're beloved characters, with the game side of things taking a backseat. The transform abilities, for instance, they use it for some of the most important cards in Final Fantasy and Spider-Man. But this is not a good mechanic. Yeah, I get it, it's cool for storytelling and flavorful, but paying this much mana at sorcery speed is not something you can bank on happening. Now, the Spider-Man ones are a bit better because they're MDFCs, but the backsides are still usually overcosted because now they have to balance these for standard. Definitely risky to revolve your deck around something this bulky. Unless you play a bunch of protection spells, which I just made a video about. Watch it, and please subscribe if you enjoy the content. But yeah, with these legends, do I build around the front? It barely does anything. But the backside is just too unreliable, so more often than not, these decks become generic, archetypal decks from the past, except with a new commander that is wildly inconsistent in how it contributes to your game. And once in a while, when they do make interesting mechanical designs, they're broken. It's like when I thought I discovered Vivi. Oh, this is cool. With pump spells, we can make some sweet budget lists. Ha, ha, ha. And turns out it's a CEDH storm monster, with Vivi being more expensive than the deck I built. And looking at Avatar spoilers, I was like, oh, Toph is cool. It's got some interesting interactions, but ooh, I better check. It's probably Yep, it's CEDH. So yeah, with Spider-Man, you can probably guess which commander caught my attention. Yep, Fleem. What the crap? Anyways. Norman Osborn, aka Green Goblin. Another hidden gem uncovered by yours truly. The front side is excellent value and the flip cost is reasonable, relatively speaking. And once you flip it, holy crap, you can dump everything into the graveyard and then cheat mana and cast them from there. Is one with nothing finally getting the Lineside Diamond redemption? This is sweet, but before any of that, we're definitely wheeling, right? We wheel into the graveyard, casting things, and then wheel again. Oh, we are onto something. And then we can find Underworld Breach to wheel over and over and... Oh, yeah, this sounds a little too familiar. So usually this is where I drop a commander because it's too easy to break. I mean, making a crop legendary punch above his weight is a fun challenge, but when your commander is CEDH tier, the only way to go is down. But then I don't want to give up for universes beyond reasons. William Dafoe's Norman Osborn is genuinely one of my favorite villain portrayals from Marvel. And this is an interesting dynamic that we never had to face before. Normally, when a legend doesn't work as intended, I just move on. But when it's a character that I have reasons to be attached to, I'm putting in more effort. Restriction breeds creativity, and actually the bracket system kind of makes sense for that. I'll build the best deck I can within my bracket. And that's what we're doing today, building a Green Goblin deck that is thoughtfully designed and powered up by synergy and additional card quality. Green Goblin is all about bombs, and this deck is going to chuck out as many of them as possible. The bombs being little artifacts that add mana. Yeah, I've been wanting to build this deck forever, one that dumps as many non-creature artifacts as possible onto the board, and the Green Goblin is perfect for that. Casting 2-drop mana rocks from the grave actually nets us mana, which will hopefully chain us into more wheels and other enablers. For rocks, we're playing all of the untapped 2-drops and a few 3-drops. Commander Sphere because it's a free cantrip when I need it to be, and Relic of Legends easily makes 2 to 3 mana a turn. Now for the card selection, we're keeping it simple, mostly looting effects and wheels. Also these ones that loot or draw whenever you pop out bombs. Sweet synergy. And the ones with flashback are great too. You can cast these from the graveyard with Mayhem and flash them back right after that, getting the discount twice. And of course, pumpkin bombs. Now with enablers and payoffs, this is the fun part. Cards like Weapons Manufacturing and Forensic Gadgeteer will double up our bomb protection. Oscar triples it when we cast from graveyard. Mirrodin Besieged, normally we're making tokens, but if the game gets really late, it's not unthinkable for us to have most of the deck in the graveyard. Definitely an interesting side quest for the deck. Sai Master Thopterist is also excellent as a sack outlet. We need a few of those for cards like Weapons Manufacturing and Scrap Mastery. A few other sack outlets include the Umbral Collared Zealot and Slowbat to protect half our board in case of a wipe. Also, Crackplant Ironworks, yeah, this card is a little risky. I don't intend to combo, but I won't be surprised if it just randomly goes infinite. Speaking of infinites, Urza is just too good to not include, turning all our random artifacts into mana. Cost reducers are important too. I wish I had room for more of these, but just one on the field will be getting 20 to 40% more mana to use per turn. Okay, now we've set the bombs. How are we going to blow them up? Well, with the sheer amount that we're dropping, cards like these that do 1 damage per artifact can actually add up really quickly. Cyberdrive Awakener is another way for us to finish games, and Deathshaker Titan is like the Crater Hoof for this archetype. A few more synergistic pieces. We're going to need an Aetherflux because we won't be great at defending ourselves, so it's mostly for the life gain. The Bridge Tezzeret also works with a lot of our deck, and we'll hopefully be draining for 10 or so by the time we drop this. Bone Miser will help us play like a Storm deck as long as it sticks around, and Archfiend of Ifnir will wipe our opponent's boards while we're at it. We're also including a few protection spells because we're just so reliant on our commander to be explosive. And it's actually not cheap. 2 mana to cast and 4 to flip will leave it vulnerable for at least a turn before we can get wheeling. Although if your meta is removal light, you might want to swap some of these for other utility. For lands, with our commander being a 2-drop looter and the amount of digging we have, we're dropping it to 35 lands. We're prioritizing color fixing because the deck can be very pip intensive, and a decent number of MDFCs because if you wheel some of these into the graveyard, you can mayhem them if you want. Abstergo Entertainment for some extra graveyard hate in case you unintentionally enable someone at the table. And I'm trying these artifact lands. There's a ton of synergy with these in the deck, but even then I'm not 100% sure it's worth having these entered tapped. But yeah, that's the deck. The play pattern will be a bit solitary. You're dropping bomb after bomb and your opponents see if they can stop you. Bonus points if you bring some cosplay material. The deck will be quite explosive for bracket 3, getting to flip our commander by turn 4 usually, and begin rolling the turn after. It's somewhat resilient. Sure, the artifacts are vulnerable to board wipes, but you're also wheeling to negate the card disadvantage that come with. The deck won't be easy to pilot with a lot of sequencing and planning ahead. Might want to goldfish this quite a bit before bringing it to any table. And finally, the budget is mid, I'd say. There are some expensive cards in my list, but most of them are not necessary. And yeah, this is how I'm approaching some of the newer legends now. While the brackets are full of flaws, they do help in setting a somewhat universal range for what power level to expect, and allows us to go all in within that limit. The deck list is down in the descriptions. I will continue to update it as I test. But do you want to see more lists like this one? Let me know in the comments. This is Jin with Next Level Commander. Please subscribe for future videos. I'll see you soon.